Guys, welcome back to the Dorky and 40 channel. I am Chad, and today we're going to take a look at the Deagostini Build Your Own X-Wing issue 5 and 6. Issues 5 and 6 are focusing on the cockpit area again. We've got like the top of the cockpit, we've got some instrumentation panels and stuff like that. We're going to take a look at those and see how they looked compared to the ones that are in the movie, and talk about actually what we're going to be doing in the future to make them look even closer to that model. If you like what I'm doing here, don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment below if you have any questions, and of course subscribe and hit that little bell. So let's get on to issues 5 and 6. So here we go with issue 5 of the Build Your Own X-Wing, and what we have in issue 5 is we have parts that are going with the cockpit. Issue 5 magazine is pretty cool. It's got some information in here about building the sets of Star Wars, and showing here you got half of Millennium Falcon, the sizes of the ships that they worked with. It goes into Wedge Antilles, who actually used to be an Imperial cadet before he joined the Rebel Alliance. So some cool story here, talking about his helmet, all kinds of stuff like that. And we got some cool little pictures of the X-Wing and some nice art. And then of course we get into actually what's going on here. So this month what we have is we have pieces of the cockpit here, including some instrumentation and some plastic clear pieces that will go behind there that will be lit up with the LED. These look really nice. They're painted and everything already, and we have some actual color paints on there to shine through to show you what the actual buttons are going to light up like and all that kind of stuff. But we'll take a look at that later and compare that to what the actual studio model looks like. And then we do have some parts of R2-D2's leg, putting in that center leg there. Now, I'm not going to be doing anything with R2-D2 right now. I'm going to go ahead and leave those parts in the bag. We will need to do that whenever we hook him up, just because that leg right there is actually what spins his head. So if we take a look at the instructions here, you can see that we got a left and a right side of the instrument panels with the actual glass going behind those. And you can see how nice that looks on the outside here and how it's actually supposed to look once it gets lit up. Goes together with just 2 pegs, real simple, and they tell you just kind of to set everything to the side along with our canopy, and we'll get to that stuff in issue 6. Before we jump to that, let's take a look a little bit closer at these issue 5 parts. So we have here a part of the cockpit tub, we have the left and right side instrumentation panel, we have those glass inserts, and some more pieces of R2-D2 here. We'll take a look actually at some pictures of the X-Wing and the actual model in the movie, and we can see how these compare to those on the inside. Now, I'm not sure exactly how much more or what the rest of the instrumentation looks like, so I'm not 100% sold on the colors of the kit parts yet. You can see here in the pictures of the studio model that there's a little bit lighter of a gray that's on there and stuff, and really this is just one of those things, since I want to repaint this kit, that we're just going to have to wait and see how these parts evolve and what actually comes up before we move on and do anything else. So I'm going to be putting these parts back in the bag, and we'll be holding on to them for a little bit. So here's issue number 6, and in issue number 6 you can see what we have is the complete outside of the cockpit. Looks real good. It's got some weathering on it. The color's pretty good. It's almost exactly what I would paint it. Definitely don't like that black. It's definitely a little too glossy, not flat enough for what I will be going for with my X-Wing. And then we have a little bag of screws that's taped inside there as well that would actually be used to mount this to the parts that we previously got in the video in the magazines before. So the most interesting part in this magazine is speaking about the actual instrumentation panels. And again, if we take a look kind of what they're going off of, this might be what we can kind of expect ours to look like in the end. These colors are a little bit lighter than what the other ones that I just showed you are molded in. And there's also this gray, which is representative of the way the actual X-Wing looks in real life per se. Also, you can kind of see like the paint job and stuff, how You know, they've got this kind of laid out. I think this is more of like a artist's interpretation of what they want the Deagostini X-Wing to look like. So literally in this issue, as you can see, you get the cockpit, the actual cockpit hatch here, the shell they're calling it, and really all you're doing is just attaching those instrument panels that we assembled before to that, and that is it for this issue. And then there's a look as far as what's coming in issue 7 and 8, which I have already, and we're going to be pulling out and working on one of the wings. I've kind of teased that already in one of my videos. It's actually right here, and then here is what is going to be in issue 8, and we're going to start building up the armature to all this. So we're really going to start to get a sense of size and the weight of this model. So that's going to do it for this episode, guys. I know, kind of quick and short, not any assembly or any modeling really at all, but I really need to wait to get some more parts before I start gluing things. I don't want to have to go through like a crazy masking process, and the screws are like self-tapping into plastic, so you're only going to be able to like move those in and out so many times before you compromise the actual integrity of it. That's going to do it, guys. We will talk to you later and see you in the next video.